Hey, you friends, family, and strangers. Welcome to day 2 of my financial challenge. The challenge is do not spend a fucking dime no matter what. That's the challenge. The only money I can spend is if I put gas in my car for going to work only and going to the grocery store to spend as little as possible if and only if I run completely out of the last little bit of cereal and oatmeal that I have left in my possession. I have a little bit of trail mix that I eat at work, and it's because it was purchased before this challenge began. The goal is to put a complete and total stop to all and any consuming or money spending that I can possibly do. And I'm only in day 2 of it. The challenge started yesterday, and it has been depressing because I want to run and grab something to eat. I want to get myself a nice hotel room so I can get out of this house with no water. This house has no water and no heat, no working furnace here, and all this other fun stuff. But I can't because I am now committed to this challenge. And the reason I need to do this right now is because I am trying to raise 3 months worth of rent so I can get my keys and get the fuck out of here. And as soon as I do that, I can start my life. I can go back to normal. I can rebuild from there. I'll have a base. I'll have a camp. I'll have the ability to live instead of merely survive for the first time in essentially 6 years, because I've been in this house for 6 years. It has been nothing but hell. Even when stuff worked, it was just too much for me to have on my plate. It's been a fun learning curve, but it's a journey that I am desperately trying to end. So I moved completely out of this house. I was trying to sell this place. The deals keep falling through, but the big problem for me was the fact that if they would have worked, I would have still not had any guarantee at my next home. So this time around, now that I'm back at the house, I'm going to try like hell to get my next home, which is still the apartments that I'm looking at. So I'm still holding out to get the apartment I want, although I'm highly considering asking for a loan. I'm highly considering just applying at other places where I don't have to come up with 3 months up front. The reason they want at least 3 months up front is because my name is still attached to this fucking mortgage. So you talk about just being in a tight squeeze, and any little wiggle move I make just makes it tighter and makes it more complex and harder to navigate. So all I want is to get my keys so I can start my life. But my life is completely on hold right now. This was a bad time to start doing a daily video about my journey in my life, but some say it's the best time. Some say it is a knockout banger of season 1 of this project, which is just a daily upload from me to you. Duggalo Nation has been like a mixed bag variety content channel where stuff comes in of tons of different topics. But lately it has been a daily reality show of my pathetic life right now. What you see is what you get, and trust me, you get what you paid for. Actually, I think your entertainment value is pretty fucking good for not paying. But anyways, that's where I'm at. If you want to know more about how I got here and what the fuck I'm talking about, just watch my older videos that lead up to today in any order. Start wherever you want and have fun with that. I recommend going back and starting at a video called Isn't That Sad? Because the video right after that, I believe, is when the first chapter of this story started. And the second chapter you're watching right now pretty much officially started today. I'm out of the trying to sell the house thing. Now I'm switching into the mode where I just hunker down and try to get my apartment and take it from there. Then I'll sell the house, or try to, if the mortgage company will still let me. And but I'd rather do it this way now. At least this is how I'm going to try it for now, because last time I tried it, I couldn't guarantee the roof over my head, and it was stressful as shit, and I had to live in hotels for a minute, and yeah. it was very stressful. And I lived in a motel from hell for a while, from absolute fucking hell. I have a lost episode coming your way where you'll see more about that. Soon you'll see that lost episode. I'm dreading even going back and looking at the footage. But anyway, here we are. I don't really have much time. I have to go out to my car and get some water that I brought in from the natural spring. I have to heat up a jug of that water and try to take a camp shower in my cold bathroom and get ready for work and crap. And I just have to try like hell to spend zero money. I also have to try to figure out exactly if I can get an extension on my taxes. And I should really try to get my oil changed in my car. It's going to piss me off to have to spend the money to do that. When you can't eat because you try not to spend money, but you have to get an oil change, and you're like, well, why does the car get a little bit of nourishment, but I can't? It's frustrating. But hopefully it'll be worth it. I just want to get this done. I want to get my life started. And I would say get my life back, but my life's been on hold for 6 years, and now it's like severely on hold. I guess I'm trying this new thing because drastic times call for drastic measures. I need to do something new and drastic in order to create a result I've been trying to create for 6 years, basically. So we'll see if it works. Wish me luck. So in order to help me out, I need you to gather your things. And let's do this. I just requested a big fat withdrawal from my 401k. It's not going to cover the amount I need, but it's going to help out a smooch. A scooch and a smidge. It'll help out. Then afterward, I felt a new level of depression hit my soul. I kind of sat there at my computer with my hand like this over my face thinking, what the do I do now? This is going to take longer than I want to admit it's going to take. I can't do nothing about that, but what I can do is something about my attitude. So I thought about it again, of course, and I thought, I just have to get on. I have to kind of get reacclimated to the house. I have to get a glamping camp set up here at the house again, and I just have to anticipate summertime coming. It's could take longer than I want, and I could just obsess over it and talk about all the things I'm sacrificing to make it happen sooner, or I could just work, save what I can, and try to live. That's just been the challenge of my life lately. I just want to live. I'm tired of surviving and being in hell every minute and just not being able to just live. And I can repeat that over and over, and I can complain about that, or I can just make the best of it for now, and instead of obsessing over what I don't have, just try to take daily efficiency steps towards that goal, and it'll happen when it fucking happens. And maybe I don't even deserve it to happen because I can't even appreciate the journey I'm on right now. I can't appreciate where I'm at. So shit, maybe I'll just use that as a way to trick my brain to stop feeling so fucking miserable all the time. But anyways, I got to get water out of my car and take it back into the house and heat up a big ass bucket of water so I can take a damn shower. Isn't that exciting? My bird feeder is about to be full because I'm going to take that other bag of bird seed and top it off. But that new bird feeder I got is going to be so heavy at that time that I'm afraid to hang it off the porch. So I'm going to go select the appropriate cinder block and stick it on there like a, I don't know, like a food tower, a beacon of nourishment in the long flight journey that these birds take. It'll be standing up on the Stupid little, oh my gosh, this yard is so wet, it's not worth it. Abort mission. Abort mission. I guess I'll just use the one I used to prop open my stupid screen door. I guess that will become the bird seed stand, the bird feeder stand for now. And this exciting content, oh my gosh, I don't know how you're not like making bootleg copies of this and watching them over and over and over. As I was toting in water out here in the freezing wind, I was thinking about the old apartment and shit, obviously. Big shocker there. I got to thinking, you know, I still could probably get into that other place. They're a little more traditional there. They don't do it the way this place does it that I'm really wanting to get in at. And the reason I really want to get in at this one place is because they have this great location that I'm enjoying and really wanting to live there and mingle around the shops and the comings and goings of the business of daily life in that area. I don't know. Well, all I'm trying to fucking say is I like it a lot. I like the area. I want to live there. I want to be able to walk around and just fucking chill. I want to pretend that I retired and I can relax in a nice, safe neighborhood. That's what I want, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that now. However, there's a couple other spots. There is another place right by there that I have not even called yet or looked into yet. I don't think they're finished. Maybe their apartments will be ready in like another month or something, or maybe like one building's renting while the rest are still being built. Let's see, I guess. I think I'm going to go ahead and apply somewhere today. If not that joint, then the other one I looked at on the day that you and I went and looked at apartments that day. And, shit. See what they say about they're just going to see that I'm going to show them my check stubs and whatnot and go from there. And if they like it and they're okay with my credit score or whatever the fuck, then I'll move the shit in, I guess. And then if I really want to still go back to that other place, then I'll have a whole ass year on my lease to save up and hit that mark and satisfy them. But they're not even going to require that anymore at that time because I won't be attached to a mortgage anymore at that time. You see what I'm dealing with? It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The best thing about your towels being out in your car because they need to go to the laundromat and all the rest of your towels being in a storage unit is the fact that after you take a bucket shower in a cold house, you have to stand here and shiver as you attempt to air dry. It's super annoying. And what else was annoying that is before I got into the shower, I looked at some apartments. One that I saw and visited in person, and they're awesome, absolutely gorgeous. Would love to get it. But I'm afraid to apply for one because you don't know which one you're applying for, and you just kind of go in person and physically go to the one that you want to have them change your application to, which I can do that. It's just annoying. And what else? The other place that is not exactly the one I've been bitching about trying to get this whole time, but it's like really close to it, and it's technically in a better location by a smidge. I really want that place as well, or have that as an option, and I need to apply there. I'm going to probably just apply there and see what they say. However, they're not online yet, so I got to go in person, glad hand the kind folks on site, and hopefully they have some kind of lease office open already. I think that's like the first thing a new apartment complex will build is their clubhouse, they call it, where the residents are supposed to be like dazzled by the fact that they can come play pool with their strangers / neighbors. So we'll see. I think I'm going to try to like leave the house a smidge early and head that direction and pull up into that bitch and take a look around and see what we can come up with. I think they have 4 stories. I think it's a 4-story building. That would be, being up on the top floor, going up all them steps, that'd be a little rough. We'll see. Oh, man. Listen to this. I was going to put in an application for the one place I did look at already. the day we went around, looked at apartments, and I looked at 2 apartments on that location and really liked both of them. One was like a 1-bedroom bachelor pad loft looking place, and it was really cool. But the other one was like a really cool 3rd-story, open ceiling, badass 2-bedroom apartment. Great balcony and everything, cool. But so I was gonna like put my app in there just to see what the fee was and get on their radar and talk to them about, I guess, I don't know, just to see if they'll want me with my credit or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and not do that right now, because before I filled everything out, I scrolled down to their administration fee. This is what it costs just to apply for this apartment. Just to apply. Just to get them to consider you as someone who can pay them money every month. A $300 administration fee is required to reserve an apartment. This fee is due 45 hours from the date the application is approved. Failure to pay this required fee will result in cancellation of the application from the date the application is approved. So, I spoke way too soon, obviously. I was reading this on camera for the first time. If you get approved and you can come up with the $300, then they'll move forward. So they will try to get you approved for free. But I don't know if that means you're going to get approved to get a lease. That just like your application is approved. I don't know what that means. So that's a good question to ask them directly. But even when you ask someone a question, I feel like in today's day and age, you have no idea if that person is even giving you the right info or not. And if you go to put something into the fucking AI robot machine and it's like, does not work, and you say, well, I was told and led to believe this and that and this, no one gives a flying fuck what the personnel on site told you. It's either this is happening or it's not. It's like companies have no respect for anyone's unique individual experience on any level. Never more prevalent at where I work. You can go in there and do exactly what HR told you to do, and then the next day, another HR associate tries to fire you for doing exactly what a different HR associate specifically told you to do. That literally happened to me at my job. It makes you want to not work there anymore and discourage anyone you know from working there. That, among countless other examples of reasons why I hate the company I work for. Failure to pay this required fee will result in cancellation of the application. Applicants that fail to take possession of the held apartment agreed to forfeit the $300 admin fee. By submitting this application, applicants agree to the terms and conditions of the admin fee. It sounds like probably you won't get approved unless you are approved for an apartment, but this just says approval of your application. Again, not really sure what that means. I don't know what an application being approved means, but I do know what it would mean if they said, if you get approved for a lease, that's different. Now we're talking cheddar, baby. But you have 2 days from that moment to pay the $300. Then it looks like you can get a lease and set up, but it says, fail to take possession of the held apartment, agreed to forfeit the $300. Most places that I've dealt with so far will hold an apartment for you for 2 weeks. And if the sale of your house is pending, it's stressful. Just so you know. Been there, done that. Not too long ago. So I think I'm running out of time for today anyways. I'm going to go ahead and hold off on this. But I think, as of right now, I'm still going to, on the way to work, pop into that other place and see if anyone's there. See if they have any a website to look at floor plans or anything like that. Maybe we can take a tour of a half-built apartment. It'd be kind of cool. Those apartments that I went to look at just now are not finished yet. There is not a website yet for it, at least not one you can access through Google Maps or whatever. which is like the easiest, best way to find a website for a company. You know how people will search on like Google search for the website attached to the restaurant or the apartments or hospital or whatever that they're looking for? I don't know why you do that. Hit Google Maps, zoom out, confirm you're in the place you need to be, zoom in, and if you know where it's located, just zoom right in, just with the sliding of your fingers, and then you'll see the business right there. Tap on it and scroll down, and you'll see where the website is right there with its listing. Bada bing, bada boom. So the name of the place is there on the Google, but that's all. It just shows like a blank page basically for the description, but the name of the actual complex is there on Google. Google has reserved their spot, and I went in and drove around a little bit. A lot of construction people being rock stars, providing their trade and their skill, making the place look great. The place does look really cool. It looks like you access all your apartments by going inside first and going down hallways like a hotel, but each room or each apartment has balconies and stuff, or a patio, depending on what floor you're on, and they look cool from the outside. I have no idea what the floor plans are yet. I don't know what the rent is, etc., etc. So, friends, because there's no way to really move forward with that particular one, I will just keep checking back, I think. Other than that, after I left from there and drove out here to where I need to be and stuff to get ready for work, that same feeling came to me where, like, I'm so tired of dealing with the house and waiting around to see if it'll sell or if the buyer liked their walkthrough. I'm so tired of waiting on insanely slow drips of information to come through that I just pretty much gave up. Screw it. If it doesn't happen by this date and at this price, then I am done talking about it and thinking about it, looking at it. Fuck you. I'll just get my apartment first. Then you can do whatever you want with the house. I don't even care what happens to it at that point. Well, that same feeling of being overwhelmed and over it came to me again concerning the apartment search. And it's only been like a full day of really going into that mode where I can't do that plan. So plan B sounds cool. Let's try plan B. And I'm like quickly getting over plan B already. It's just, there's just no rest for the weary. And I'm very weary. And I'm fucking over it. I'm just so beyond over it today. But my mood does go back and forth where I wake up one morning, I'm ready to hit the ground running, ready to make this happen, see what we can come up with, see if we can get lucky or get in on this and blah, blah, blah. And budget-wise, I just don't know what I'm going to do other than hunker down. I may or may not decide to go ahead and just get through June at the house at this point and then reassess from there. It's like all I can do every 5 minutes is pick a new place to reassess from there from. And it's getting old. It's getting frustrating as shit. And I'm just getting over life. I hate it right now. I hate dealing with it. I've done nothing but deal with it. I can't live in my house because it sucks. It's impossible to function. It's just a big, long, daily grind survival game at that house. There's no comfortable living. There's no reassurance you'll have anything you need there as far as accommodations go for your activities of daily living. But when you're screwed, you're screwed. And I might be doing myself a big favor to just bend over and accept the giant cock up the ass. Instead of fighting it, I think I might just need to go limp and take it right up the jacksie, baby. Because then, maybe at least then, I can take a half-ass sigh of relief. And just like that, my friends, through the power of Duggalo Nation movie cinema masterpiece magic, it is already dark out. You got to skip past the last 9 hours of my life in about 2 seconds. You're very lucky for that. You didn't have to stand there and watch me work for 9 hours on my precious little feet. Tonight is a good night to go home, work on putting a video out in a cold bedroom while the space heaters try to get that room up above 60, hopefully tonight. It's also a good night to fill out an application for an apartment, one in particular that I have in mind to apply for. It is also a great night to curl up in the sleeping bag and catch a quick 4 or 5 hour nap. Tomorrow is a great day for an oil change in the old Ford Focus. It is a legendary day for hearing back from the apartment that I got approved, and I should get over there and get my keys on the way to work tomorrow. What a great day tomorrow is for that to happen, and hopefully it does. But if not, that's okay. I'm going to try really hard not to overthink and become impatient and try to do one extreme or the other. Instead, I'm going to try to create more balance in my life with all this stuff. Try not to get too ahead of myself. It's something I struggle with immensely, as I'm sure you are already well aware from watching lately. So yeah, I wish there was something a little bit cooler to announce right now other than those things. I do have a giant basket of dirty, stinky laundry in my car, and I just passed 2 deer. It might have been 3, but I know I at least seen 2 right there. It was hard to tell. And you almost watched me hit them, but they were across the roadway probably 30 or 40 seconds ago, later than when you and I crossed that same patch of road. Thank goodness. Thank you, the Lord Christ above, for that moment of luck. Some people tonight are not so lucky. Statistically speaking, I'm guessing someone smacked a deer going full speed ahead tonight. I got lucky twice out here, that moment, and about 20 minutes ago there was a deer standing right by the roadway just kind of looking at me, waiting for me to drive through so he could cross, he or she. I don't know if it was a lady deer or a juvenile male, wasn't sure. But anyway, friends, that's what's going on. So I want to get the place, I want to get some keys, but I was thinking about it at work, and where I work, when you're not talking and yakking and carrying on, acting a fool, there is a lot of time while you're working at my job to really think about life. I've made a lot of big decisions based on conclusions I've calculated in my head after hours of thinking about it at work. And I don't know if those decisions would have ever been made had I not been at that job and thinking that through on that particular day. Some people are so busy with socializing at their job, they don't really have time at all to think about their own personal problems. And then when they get home, they're immediately busy with social interactions or other work they got to do. And some people do not make decisions like I have because they weren't thought through properly. Although I'm a bad example. If you haven't noticed, I make bad decisions on the regular. But in any event, friends, yeah, I'm going to probably try to learn how to create more balance with this applying for apartments thing and maintaining a level of staying power at the house, so to speak. I really want to go to one extreme over the other, but I don't know if that's very wise of me. It may lead to a bigger problem. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, but I do feel what I feel physically, and I can report on that. I don't know how to feel about I don't know how to feel emotionally when it comes to that. But physically, I feel a weight off my shoulders. The pressure is gone. I guess you could call that an emotional response. So, bada bing, bada boom. About to run the trash down the end of the driveway and thought I'd stop because I noticed how quiet it is out here. This old chunk of land. No working water, no working furnace. No this, no that. This problem, that problem. But do you know what problem it doesn't have? Noise. Crowdedness. Nobody thumping on the other side of my wall. Makes me wonder. Did I just dodge a bullet? Should I stay? I don't want to stay. I don't want to screw around with this yard anymore. I want to live close to shops and people and some more noise, I guess. Not necessarily neighbors, but neighbors through my wall, that is. But here I am standing out in the middle of the driveway, and nobody thinks a damn thing of it out here, or even notices. I find great peace and joy in that. So maybe I should stay. Maybe I should do what I was doing 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and maintaining both an apartment and my house. Not really plausible for more than a couple months, but that last apartment I got by doing absolutely nothing fancy. All I did was apply for it, and I got it. And they didn't even require me to pay anything up front. Maybe this place that was holding that apartment for me, with their particular rules for how I could get in, that was just causing me all that stress, and the timing was terrible for me because I was trying to sell my house. Maybe that's not the way to go. So I'm going to put in an app for this other place that I looked at that one day when we went apartment hunting. I'm going to put in an app for that place tonight, I do believe, if I can keep my eyes open that late. Might take a minute. They are asking a lot of things on that app, because I looked at it before work today. So we'll see, but I'm going to try not to get too antsy about it and too overthinking about it. I'm just going to see what they say. I'm going to try not to. I was about to say that I expect them to decline me and tell me, get your credit score back up and apply later. But that's what I thought when I got approved for the last one a couple months ago. I thought there's no way they're going to be into me. And they were. And I moved in like within 24 hours of applying. Loved it at first. Then I started to chicken out and worry about losing this place. A place that now, just a month later, I can't wait to lose. So, what am I doing? Dear God above, what am I doing? Why do I keep on trucking? When you don't know where you're going sometimes, it makes the next mile ahead very discouraging because you're not sure why you're going in that direction or if you're still even going to be going in that direction by the time you get there. And I can tell you from years of experience, that's a scary way to live your life. It may be 27 degrees outside right now, but it is a warm, tropical 42 in my bedroom. And I think the reason that is, I hung on to a couple degrees is because I kept my bedroom door closed. Because when I left this bedroom, it was about 65 in here. So I think keeping the door closed helped give me a home field advantage tonight when I got back. Well, friends, family, and strangers, I think, unfortunately, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I want to thank you sincerely, sweetly, and neatly for spending time with me today. But unfortunately, it is time now to piss on this fire, pack up this camp and head back to my cold, shitty bedroom. Nice and quiet, though. I don't hear any neighbors slamming their door every 5 minutes. A random person isn't coming up and knocking on my door every 15 to 20. The entire ass day for 2 days straight for some reason. A brand new person, mind you. I think that's called a drug room when that happens. You know, I was thinking earlier today, like, if I just couldn't come up with the money any other way and I had to sell this place before I secured my next housing, which ain't going to happen, but if I did, where the hell would I stay? Would I go back to the shit motel again? And I was thinking, well, if I do, I'll definitely just be like, hey, this time around I need to just say something straight up, motherfuckers. I want to be in the other building, and I want to be upstairs on the corner because I want to at least guarantee that no one's on one side of me at least, because last time I was here, y'all mofos put me in that room and shit, and it was so fucking noisy that I would rather sleep in my van than fuck with that again. Speaking of that shitty motel, I noticed this thing that was on their check-in window, and I took a picture of it. That's why I have a picture of it. But it reads this. Someone wrote in marker, maximum stay at hotel. And then there's a bunch of code law right there. And then below that it reads this. And I thought this was interesting, so. But I didn't actually stop and read what this was saying until tonight. But it says, the facility is licensed for transient use only, but guest rooms are being utilized as apartment house use. There is evidence that some individuals are occupying or have occupied guest rooms in this hotel for periods in excess of 30 days. Guests are staying as apartment residents rather than transient hotel guests. The use of these guest rooms have changed from the use as originally approved. Examples of such guest rooms include, but not limited to, and that's all it says. It does not give, there's nothing below the paper on that. It's just cut off at the bottom right there. That looks like someone who doesn't speak English well wrote that. And I don't know if that's saying like, we're on to you, even though they're the ones who make the reservation or set it up when the guests check in and when the guests add time to the room. It also says, that big piece of paper below it says, if you are currently staying here and you wish to stay over, you must pay by noon. Otherwise, you must check out. No exceptions, with 1, 2, 3, 6 exclamation points. Yeah. I would love to find the time here soon to edit that lost episode where I was at that motel and the most annoying, kind of nerve-wracking fight broke out, and the cops showed up, and that asshole was standing outside his door, aka my door, because it was right beside it, and yelling at the top of his lungs for 20 minutes. There is no way possible the staff at the motel did not hear that and see that from where their window is. And it's like they just didn't give a fuck. They didn't care if every other guest, at least on that side, but I'm pretty sure the whole property could have heard it. They just didn't care if every other guest was 100% inconvenienced by all that yelling. If I was managing that bitch or owned that bitch, the split second I saw someone out there yelling like that, I would have approached and said, you have to leave. And if I didn't have the balls to do that, I would have instructed the police to trespass the mofoer. Sorry. I'd rather give you your money back than let you just continue right on disrupting everyone's visit and ruining their chances of coming back to my motel. Yeah, that night was fucked. So I was thinking about where would I stay if I just wanted to come up with whatever money I could get out of this house right away so I could get but there's no way. I can't sell this house quickly. That was one of my many issues, is that I don't have any patience. This house will sell at a snail's pace. This house didn't sell twice at a snail's pace. Imagine if it actually did sell. It would still be a slow ass, snail ass paced process. I don't know why no one but me was in a hurry. I thought buying a home was exciting, but the last two people interested were from home flipper LLCs, who are probably in no hurry at all. They don't give a shit. This property was just a line on their spreadsheet or something. But anyway, friends, that's beside the point. We are home again, in the house, as you know. By the way, I was thinking about where I would go if I did that, but I'm reconfirming in my brain that I'm not doing it this way ever again. I'm going to fully and completely secure my housing before I get rid of this house in any way, shape, or form. So after I've gotten my keys, and after I showed you around my apartment, after we've spent a night or two cooking, having a little dinner, walking down to a local shop, then and only then will I come back here, pack up my things, and then come back again and pack up the rest of my things, and then come back again and do a little bit of cleaning and straightening up, and then pack up the very last bit of things that's here. Like, I don't know, like a chair and a broom or whatever. Then after that, I'll contact, if I'm still in the listing agreement with my current sales agent, I'll contact him and say, feel free to put my house back on the market or try to get it sold in any way you wish. Let me know when I need to sign anything for the closing. I'll let you know if I'm available. Try not to be such a fucking dick and actually ask me when I'm available this time. You're not getting shit out of me, except I did leave the door unlocked for you. Direct all your questions to your own ass, because I'm not answering them. I don't give a fuck if you sell the place or not. I don't give a fuck if it forecloses before you get it sold. I don't give a fuck about you or your demanding questions or your stupid ass gaslighting. I don't even live there no more and have zero interest in the house at all. You now have an interest in the house if you want a commission off the sale. So let me know when to sign. Bitch. That'll be my message. And then, after that, I'm going to resume my life as normal. And hope, within a month or so, that a paycheck hits my bank because he sold this place. And I'll know that's happening, of course, because I'll go and sign everything whenever the fuck they want me to. Whether the buyer's there or not, who gives a shit. But I'll keep that date in mind when they're supposed to and when my funds are supposed to travel over from their office to my office. That'll be great. But this time around is different because I don't need that money to get an apartment now. Now, I'm just going to get an apartment, first and foremost. And if I can't, then I'll just wait until I can. I'll figure out where to apply, how to go about it, or I'll just, if I have to at the worst, I'll just come up with the lump sum of money and get in that way. And now, because I'm back under my own roof, I have the time to do that. Isn't that an exciting tale? what you've been watching the last 20, 30 episodes was me putting myself out to dry, not guaranteeing my secondary housing, my next home, and hoping the deal came through in order for me to get my next home while living in a shit motel, but also some cool hotels along the way, because I thought that would look a lot better for some video content, and I enjoyed it for the most part. I now know where I'm going to probably stay every time I travel now. That is most likely Home 2 Suites, because they are just better in every way. So, speaking of applying for apartments, like I said a minute ago, I will be submitting an application tonight before I hit that bed and call it a night. So wish me luck. I'll let you know if I hear anything about it. Hopefully tomorrow, or the next day, or maybe the next day. Maybe I don't hear shit, and I got to call them and say, hey, can I move in or not? So we shall see. But my friends, my family, my strangers, acquaintances, and soon-to-be friends, thank you for spending time with me. I got to go, but don't worry, because I'll be back. If you want to help me, please do so by sharing this link to this video with all your dumb buddies, or perhaps you can go back and share a video that doesn't suck. If you want to contact me directly, you can email dougalonation@gmail.com. Maybe you want me on your podcast, as some people do, or maybe you want to be even right here beside me, live and in the flesh. That's not, that's not an impossible thing. Lately, my social engagements have been off camera because there's stuff going on with a group of peers or family or what have you, but that doesn't mean we can't get into some fun roadside attraction, zoos, amusement parks, whatever the hell we want to film. You could be Dougalo Nation famous, which only means about 18 people will see you and then quickly forget about you. That's what it means to be Dougalo Nation famous. But it is true. I have not been bluffing you. It is true. I do have to go for now. But don't worry. I'll be right here again with you as always. 7 a.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Tomorrow morning, I will see your beautiful eyes again. But in the meantime, don't be a douche.